Hello, my name is Faye Reichman. I am an RN, so I'm going to school at age 50 for the first time after 30 years of working. My aspirations are my master's degree in using that together with sociology. My goal is to teach and educate, as well as very soon in the year 2013, possibly developmental work and missionary work as well. Michelle did not realize that she was pregnant until 10 weeks into her gestation. Up to that moment, she had been drinking between 1 to 2 bottles of vodka every day. Although she claims to have stopped immediately, the damage was literally done. 7 months later, her son Matthew was born with fetal alcohol syndrome. He is severely disfigured, mentally and physically disabled, and at age 5, dependent on 24-hour care like a newborn. He needs drastic measures, such as multiple eye surgeries to even see, and he requires constant physical therapy only to move at all, and to make his predicted short life even bearable. The effects of drinking alcohol during pregnancy have been long known, but a formal description and clinical diagnosis was only introduced in 1973. It took that long to put all the pieces that we saw clinically together. Millions of children in the US are born to mothers who have used alcohol while pregnant. This is a tragedy. Women of childbearing age make a conscious decision to drink or to refrain from alcohol when considering pregnancy. Too many gamble and choose both. Studies by the New England Journal of Medicine prove the statistic certainty that you or someone you know will drink alcohol before conceiving or while pregnant, even worse. We are living in a generation with the highest female alcoholism rate in the US since Prohibition, according to the World Health Organization, or WHO. The key to our population's well-being today and tomorrow is the reduction and then the elimination of alcohol consumption. In my work experience, I have been an RN over 30 years. I have worked in the areas of labor and delivery as well as maternity. I constantly see how devastating, cruel, and far-reaching the combination of alcohol and gestation really is. Alcohol exposure presents a risk of fetal brain damage at any stage of pregnancy, as babies' brains develop ongoing and throughout the entire 9 months of pregnancy. The cell damage from drinking occurs whether it is visible or not. Sometimes we cannot see the effects of alcohol immediately or only later in the child's life. I have held disfigured, horribly looking stillborn, and I've seen many, many die shortly after birth in their mother's arms. I will explain to you how an embryo is affected by alcohol consumption. There are many biochemical and cellular reasons that are causing fetal alcohol damage. But 2 main, irreversible, and furthermore self-generating within your womb mechanisms cause the damage and disrupt and change the development of your embryo. Number 1, the new cell growth that is so important in a growing fetus is disrupted and eliminated. Number 2, the DNA that is in every cell will be interrupted. The mutation of any and all cells will spin out of control with every single drop of alcohol. The brain and the spine, which is the fundamental cell cluster that the baby and the human develops from, is interrupted. The brain and the spine will later be the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and the ears. Thus, the disfigurement and the disabilities and the mutations are so severe. They create internally non-visible and externally very visible, malformed and incapacitated, very, very ill newborns. Too many are stillborn and will die shortly after birth, as I explained. I've seen and held some of them, many of them. Most of the surviving babies who reach child age, teenage age, or even adult age, hundreds of thousands of them are born disfigured, physically, mentally delayed, or premature, and never even have a real chance in life. After explaining the horrific consequence and the need of choosing abstinence and sobriety, the process of preventing fetal alcohol syndrome, and the benefits of sobriety and abstinence, I hope you will decide and choose to save your and your future child's health and life. Your decision to abstain from alcohol is crucial. According to the Center for Disease Control, or CDC, and the WHO both, thousands of women, children, and unborn need this commitment to survive every day. 1 in 1,000 births is related to fetal alcohol syndrome or the many, many different forms that gestational alcohol exposure can cause. Preventing alcohol and pregnancy is the problem. Prevention of both cannot be a conscious decision if alcohol is present. Effective contraception when drinking is sabotaged by clouded judgment, memory lapse, askew perception, and the consequences of all of that. When under the influence, it is possibly to be a safe steward of your own body, mind, and soul. Fetal alcohol syndrome is irreversible and permanent. It affects all babies, children, teens, adults, and our society globally. Matthew's and Michella's life has taken an unfortunate turn. Although her son survived his terrifying physical and mental disabilities, both suffer extreme, terrible hardships. Michella is struggling horribly every day to stay sober. In addition, she cares for her severely disabled child that has a very short predicted lifespan, and both of their lives are fraught with hardship and suffering. Alcohol, like any other powerful addictive substance, is not ever loosening its grip on body, mind, and soul just by mere cessation. In fact, recovering alcoholics will testify unanimously that the fight continues day after day, year after year, until the end of life. According to the National Organization of Fetal Alcoholism, more than 5 million women in the United States will drink too much or become an alcohol-dependent woman at some point in their lives. It is up to women to decide to drink or not, or whether to get pregnant or not if you have a drinking problem. Are you thinking, I'm not sure if I can get pregnant, I might as well drink as much as I want? Excuse me. You may think, I'm not sure if I want to have a child. I do not need to stop drinking. Either way, you will need to choose sobriety and a life abstinent of alcohol if you want to live and thrive. You will hurt yourself and your future unborn child by drinking. The emotional, financial, and logistic burden after you delivered your baby into this world will be that of 2 lives fraught with grief, hardship, remorse, stigma, and prejudice, especially if you are a single mother or a teenage mother. Now that we know the problem, let's move on to the only solution. You must abstain from alcohol. Comprehend the devastating effects of alcohol and understand the process of remaining sober, especially if you have abused alcohol in the past. All three, the CDC, the WHO, and the National Organization of Fetal Alcohol Syndrome, have clearly outlined the solution to fetal alcohol syndrome. Anyone who feels that alcohol is a necessary part of their life should not get pregnant. That's the only solution. Avoid pregnancy if you struggle. And then seek help immediately from a doctor. If you think you will be at risk for alcohol and pregnancy, do seek Christian support in your community now. Once sober, the actual impact of the much-needed sobriety and knowing that your choice has saved your baby's life, health, and future will empower and improve both of your lives forever. There are far-reaching rewards and benefits in abstinence and sobriety. There is no reason why women drink and become pregnant, but they do. Some of you may still have questions, and you may even go to websites such as the Children's Hospital website or the Mayo Clinic website if you have fears, questions, or a general struggle with alcohol. Help is out there. Do not get pregnant, please. If you are unsure about the success of your sobriety compliance, use sound judgment. This means you make sure how, when, how often, why, and how much alcohol you may have consumed. You may know after today that alcohol is passing through your blood into your body and through your placenta into your unborn baby. It is the only choice not to drink and to not allow pregnancy if you drink. You will pass toxic, lethal alcohol from your blood to your fetus. Women who are aware of the horrific effects of alcohol and their pregnancy will make sober, sound, and informed choices. All women must choose life, health, sobriety, and abstinence. We all hope that we never, ever have to encounter a situation or an outcome when we or someone we know and love has used alcohol while being pregnant. It is sad, irreversible, and a very serious, life-altering event. Whenever I get the chance, like here, and as often as I'm requested, I plead with women of all ages and of all walks of life to please choose abstinence. I urge you all to do the same and to talk to a friend or talk to a relative who drinks. You will save a life. Michelle, mid-30, and her son Matthew, now 7, are entwined in a heartbreaking, yet hopeless struggle, void of any dignity, any help, against myriads of hardships, all generated by Michelle's choice to drink. Both are losing the torturous fight too fast and too soon. Both, at this moment, are gravely ill and cannot be helped. Both will die soon.